You are listening to Theoretical Insights of D&D.
Lord, give me a fireball!
Screw how hot your skin is, my bars are hotter. Let me tell you what this is. Let me tell you, you listeners, if you don't know what the zombie has packing in his decaying flesh. You shut up, Cancer Bones. You gonna be a zombie if that cancer doesn't get cured.
Hey guys, I'm Rob.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome back to Theoretical Insights of D&D. We are finally well enough to record.
Finally.
It's been a month.
Yeah.
The flu hit hard here, and then it hit hard over at Eric's house, and because he has kids, it stayed for 3 weeks.
The bad thing about it was it hit one at a time.
Yeah, that's what kept
It
tripping
wouldn't
me
hit
out.
everybody at the same time. It's like one, and he got better, and then I got it, and then I got better. Then my other son got it, and it's like, stop.
And the funny thing is your daughter had it the week before it got to you.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks, something like that.
No, I don't think she ever had the flu.
Oh, okay.
She didn't feel good for a few days, but I don't think she ever had the flu. She had her tonsils removed and her adenoids removed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't get to see her for almost a month because this flu crap.
Yep. In the meantime, though, we are bringing you another monster list. Today, we are bringing you CR10, our top 14. We're coming back with a
It's a pretty
decently
good sized
sized
list,
list.
yeah.
top 14 monsters for CR10, according to Rob and Eric. So you know a couple of idiots can come up with something decent. And a new and improved celebrity list. Well, kind of celebrity.
They're celebrities, all right.
Well, all but one.
Well, that one is well known.
Yeah. It's very well known, and it's very well hated.
Yes.
And for one exact reason. To start off this list, at the lowest point is HMOs.
Yep.
That is your healthcare provider's policy that won't cover anything.
Yep.
If you've never seen the movie John Q, go and watch that movie. Denzel Washington put in an absolutely fantastic performance alongside James Wood. It's a wonderful movie, and it shows the danger of being dropped from, I don't remember what the kind of plan was that he had originally.
I can't remember.
But going to an HMO, because they only covered up to $20,000 on his son's $250,000 surgery for a heart replacement.
Yeah.
So, by all means, go and check out that movie. It's a great movie. At number 2, we have Amber Heard, because she took a number 2 on Johnny Depp's bed.
Yeah.
Actually, it was both of their beds, which, kind of friendly fire there.
Have you seen lately where these people are trying to say she wasn't all bad here lately?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. In a marriage or in a relationship, both people are going to screw up.
Oh, yeah.
But only one person crapped on the bed, okay? So
Yeah.
that's all I can say.
Yeah, this is just basically for the memes because it's number 2 for the number 2.
This is a meme. At number 3, we have Jesse the Body Ventura from his time in WWF. And the fact that he is a sexual tyrannosaurus,
Yeah.
apparently. You can clip that line out of the Predator movie.
Hey, that was a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Number 4, Jared Leto. It's nothing personal, but Morpheus was garbage, and we haven't forgiven you for it yet.
Yes.
Number 5, get to the chopper. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's had some great movies and he's had a few duds, but
And he's had some stuff come up that was in the news. It was like,
yeah, some questionable stuff. But
pretty questionable.
hey, he's the tank, I guess.
At number 6, we're coming in with Captain Slow from Top Gear and Amazon Prime's The Grand Tour, James
And
May.
many other things
and
he's
yes,
done.
Our Man in Japan and India and
Man Lab.
Yes,
He's done a lot of things.
And James May's Oh Cook.
Oh yeah, that's a great show.
It gave us the beautiful meme, cheese, right after he slams it down on the table and just says cheese.
Jeez, that has been memed so many times.
Oh, it's memed into oblivion, but it's still one of the best ones out there.
Have you seen the ones where it multiplies it every time?
Yes, it's wonderful. Now, number 7 coming in on the list is good old Adam Sandler. He is in a new movie called Spaceman, and he's giving another dramatic performance. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does there because we're used to his silly, goofy side. So and he did a great job in Uncut Gems. So I'm really excited to see what he does.
Yeah,
in
he
Spaceman.
is a very good dramatic actor.
Number 8, Sylvester Stallone.
Always a good choice.
Always a good choice. From Rocky all the way up into Samaritan.
Oh yeah, that was a great movie.
It's a good movie. The twist I called an hour before it happened, but it was worth it.
Yes, he was.
I'm the bad guy. It was great.
I've seen a lot of people give it hate, but it was good. It was a good.
I mean, it was Sylvester Stallone's first time as a superhero, and this needed to happen for 30 years.
Yeah.
So, number 9, the hamster himself, Richard Hammond. He's doing a show, The Smallest Cog. That's the name of his shop. It's called Richard Hammond's Workshop, and it's only available in the UK through Discovery Plus.
Huh.
Otherwise, I would have already been watching it. But, I can't watch it. So, hey, Discovery Plus, UK, how about sending it over here for us normal folks to watch it?
I know, right? We like Richard Hammond.
And at number 10, one of the greatest, well, I say one of the greatest, one of the coolest actors to ever grace the screen, who gave us one of the best catchphrases ever. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. We're talking about Mr. Carl Weathers, who passed away just yesterday upon this recording. So we send our love and our thoughts out to his family, those who are close to him. May he rest in peace. And we honor him with our number 10 spot for our top of the line on our monster list this week.
That's one I did not expect.
Yeah. Well, once you get up to 76 years old,
yeah,
it's one of those weird things to where I heard a comedian say it one time, like, my grandmother passed away unexpectedly. I'm so sorry to hear that. How old was she? 99. Were you really surprised or anything like that?
Yeah.
Like, she was 99. Like, were you surprised? But let's get on to the list. The Aboleth being our first one to cover.
Yeah, good old wormy boy.
Man, we've had to deal with one of these before, and it was... I'd rather been able to kill it instead of it just swimming back out to the sea.
I mean, I tried to keep it in the cave, but...
It just didn't work out.
Rolls. Good old D20s. I hate them sometimes.
So, the Aboleth is a large aberration and lawful evil with a natural armor class of 17. Hit points 135, or you can take the maximum of 18d10 plus 36 for a max of 216. It's only got a 10-foot movement speed, though, on land, but a swim speed of 40.
I mean, it's a giant squid type thing.
Now, it's got a +6 to Constitution and Wisdom saving throws, and a +8 to Intelligence saving throws, with a +12 to History and a +10 to Perception. It's got 120 foot of dark vision and a passive perception of 20, so it's not going to be exactly easy to get by this guy whenever he's going to be able to tell you're there. And knows deep speech with a telepathy of 120 feet. Now, the Aboleth can breathe air and water because he is ambidextrous.
He's and fish.
He is amfish. He is amphibious. Here's where it starts to get a little bit spooky. The mucus cloud. While underwater, the Aboleth is surrounded by transformative mucus. A creature that touches the Aboleth or that hits it with a melee attack within 5 feet of it must make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw. On a failure, the creature is diseased for 1d4 hours, and the diseased creature can breathe only underwater.
So
I've been affected by this in an online game when I was playing Aziel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, except it was the worst one that's coming up.
Well, see, it's a squid, but instead of black ink, it's like green mucus yeah.
Yeah, now here's something worse. Just the name of it. Probing telepathy. I don't want to get probed.
I don't want to get probed either.
If a creature communicates telepathically with the Aboleth learns the creature's greatest desires if the Aboleth can see the creature. Now, onto its actions. It's got a multi-attack where it makes 3 tentacle attacks, and this is where the problem comes in.
Oh, yeah.
The tentacle is a +9 to hit, 10-foot reach, and deals 2d6 plus 5 bludgeoning damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 14 Constitution saving throw or become diseased. The disease has no effect for 1 minute, right?
I hate these delayed reactions.
And can be removed by any magic that cures disease. However, after 1 minute, the diseased creature's skin becomes translucent and slimy. The creature can't regain hit points unless it's underwater, and the disease can be removed only by heal or another disease-curing spell of 6th level or higher.
Ooh.
When the creature is outside of a body of water, it takes 1d12 acid damage every 10 minutes unless moisture is applied to the skin before 10 minutes have passed.
As long as you got a water weird, you're good.
No, yeah, we got a water weird in a bucket, Waldo. Here's the problem, though, okay? This happened to me. So we come back on our ship, and there's my character dipping a bucket into the ocean, just pouring it on himself for 4 hours. For 4 hours until we get somewhere to where he can be healed.
No, but see, these delayed reaction ones are the worst.
Oh, they always have something more deadly
because you've got
with them.
the con roll.
Yep.
And you failed, and the DM's like, okay, next turn. And you're like,
what happened?
What?
What happened?
Wait, what's going on?
It's also got a tail attack, +9 to hit, 10-foot reach, 3d6 plus 5 bludgeoning damage, and enslave. The target, it can do this 3 times a day. The aboleth targets one creature it can see within 30 feet of it. The target must succeed on a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw or be magically charmed by the aboleth until the aboleth dies or until it's on a different plane of existence from the target. The charmed creature is under the aboleth's control and can't take reactions, and the aboleth and the target can communicate telepathically with each other over any distance. Whenever the charmed creature takes damage, the target can repeat the saving throw. On a success, the effect ends. No more than once every 24 hours. The target can also repeat the saving throw when it is at least 1 mile away from the aboleth.
So basically, you want
So if you
to
fail,
use a sea elf to fight this thing.
yeah, if you fail, right? If you fail the saving throw for the charmed, but then you don't take damage, you have to wait 24 hours. And if you fell again, 24 hours. Fell again, 24 hours. And you can hear the aboleth in your head just like the whole time.
You're mine.
Yeah, one of those deals. It's got legendary actions.
Yeah, it's...
The aboleth can take 3 legendary actions, choosing from the options below. Detect. The aboleth makes a wisdom perception check. It's a heck of a legendary action. Tail swipe. The aboleth makes 1 tail attack. Psychic drain. Costs 2 actions. 1 creature charmed by the aboleth takes 3d6 psychic damage, and the aboleth regains hit points equal to the damage the creature takes.
Now, does that count toward re-rolling your
It
wisdom?
does.
Okay.
It does. Any damage. Layer actions.
There's more?
Yeah, there's a lot more. This all takes count if you're fighting this thing on in this layer.
Yeah.
Initiative number 20.
Oh.
The aboleth casts Phantasmal Force on any number of creatures it can see within 60 feet of it. While maintaining concentration on this effect, the aboleth can't take any other layer actions. If a target succeeds on the saving throw or if the effect ends on it, the target is immune to the aboleth's Phantasmal Force layer action for the next 24 hours, although such a creature can choose to be affected.
That's anybody, any number of creatures you
That's
can see.
any number of creatures within 60 feet. Pools of water within 90 feet of the aboleth. Yeah, you're going to like this one. Surge outward in a grasping tide. Any creature on the ground within 20 feet of such a pool must succeed on a DC 14 strength saving throw or be pulled up to 20 feet into the water and knocked prone.
Jeez.
You can't do that again until he uses a different one.
It's a waterbender.
Water in the aboleth's lair magically becomes a conduit for the creature's rage. The aboleth can target any number of creatures it can see within such water. within 90 feet of it. A target must succeed a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw or take 2d6 psychic damage. Now, once again, just like the other one before this, the Aboleth can't do that one again until he has used a different one.
Yeah.
Realistically, if you run into an Aboleth in its lair, it's a formidable foe. Very.
Yeah, you've already messed up.
So, I mean, where's it going to rank? From HMOs to Carl Weathers.
I want to say HMOs because I hate it,
I mean, I don't like it either. I'm not a fan of aberrations.
but it is cool. Even though it is just a squid.
I think realistically it's probably around the number 6, James May.
Yeah.
It's a little better than standard, you know? I don't think it's as special as some other aberrations that are in the game, but
What it
it's got its
does is
place.
really good, but it's a shaggy beast.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Next up we have the Amber Golem. Now, it's cool to me because this thing has the head of an eagle.
It does look very cool. It's got that Egyptian feel to it.
So, large construct, completely unaligned. Natural armor class of 17 with 178 hit points, or you can take the maximum of 17d10 plus 85 for a max of 255. Damage immunities: poison, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't adamantine. Immune to charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, and poisoned. Dark vision of 120 feet and understands the languages of its creator, but it can't speak. Immutable form. The golem is immune to any spell or effect that would alter its form. Magic resistance.
Of course.
Everything's going to have magic resistance at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest. It's just one of them deals. Magic weapons. The golem's weapon attacks are magical.
I mean,
Fair.
of course.
Now, it doesn't really have a whole lot going on for it, I'll be honest, because it only makes 2 slam attacks, which is a plus 10 to hit, 5-foot reach, 3d8 plus 6 bludgeoning damage. So it's not doing bad damage. It's
No.
actually doing pretty dang good damage, honestly, because that's if both attacks hit, that's 6d8 plus 12,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty scary.
And a plus 10 to hit is really good.
Here's what makes it cool. Slow. Recharge of 5 to 6. The golem targets one or more creatures that can see within 10 feet of it. Each target must make a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw against this magic. On a failed save, a target can't use reactions, its speed is halved, and it can't make more than one attack on its turn. It casts the slow spell on a recharge of 5 or 6.
On multiple targets.
Now, they have to be within 10 foot of him, but nowhere does it say that he can't take his 30 feet of movement before doing this.
You know what this kind of reminds me of?
What's that?
If it was like a disintegrate instead of slow, the Guardian statues in Neverending Story.
Yeah, you got a point there. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, that actually makes sense.
I mean, this thing would be a Guardian somewhere. This would be standing a post. Probably 2 of them at the bottom set of stairs, 2 more at the top.
Probably. But where is he going to fall on our list?
It's cool,
But not overly cool.
not overly.
I think he's going to fall around an Arnold, number 5.
Yeah, he will definitely get the job done. But it needs to be more than one.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Autumn Eladrin. It's a medium fey based on an elf. Chaotic neutral. Armor class of 19, and that's its natural armor. 165 health, or you can take the maximum of 22d8 plus 66 for a max health of 176 plus 66, 242. I think. Check my math later. 30-foot movement speed, has a plus 7 to insight and medicine, and resistance to psychic damage. One of the very few we've seen so far that actually has resistance to that kind of damage. Dark vision of 60 feet and a passive perception of 13, so you can still get by this thing kind of, somewhat easily. Speaks Common, Elvish, and Sylvan. Enchanting Presence. Any non-Eladrin creature that starts its turn within 60 feet of the Eladrin must make a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature becomes charmed by the Eladrin for 1 minute. On a successful save, the creature becomes immune to the Eladrin's Enchanting Presence for 24 hours. Whenever the Eladrin deals damage to the charmed creature, the creature can repeat the saving throw, ending the effect on itself on a success. In other words, this thing is so pretty that you can get charmed by it just standing there.
So it's basically a Uber Sylvan.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this is the Eladrin. These are the ones that are in the courts for the Feywild.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that's what their job is. They are within the court system of the Feywild.
So they technically are Uber Sylvan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Innate spellcasting. The Eladrin casts one of the following spells requiring no components, and its spell save DC is 16. At will, hold person. 2 times a day each, cure wounds as a 5th level spell and lesser restoration, and once per day each, greater restoration and revivify.
She got some pretty nasty.
This is a
heals.
very support-based character. It makes 2 longsword attacks or 2 longbow attacks, and it can replace 1 attack with the use of spellcasting.
Why not?
So it can take an attack and then use cure wounds. Longsword is plus 5 to hit, 5 foot reach, 1d8 plus 1 slashing damage, or 1d10 plus 1. But it also does 5d8 psychic damage.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same stats on the longbow, except it's got a plus 7 to hit, and it's a plus 3 to the damage.
She could hold person and then longbow.
Yes, she could.
Oh.
Yes, she could.
Oh.
She could use hold person and then use her longsword or longbow, and it automatically be a critical. And then the 5d8 psychic is doubled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nasty.
As a reaction, foster peace. If a creature charmed by the Eladrin hits with an attack roll while within 60 feet of the Eladrin magically causes the attack to miss,
Of course.
provided the Eladrin can see the attacker. Yeah, that's rough. That's pretty rough.
Where's my rogues and my rogue barbarian at?
Well, here's the thing. This thing is actually starting off pretty strong because it's not the only Eladrin that's on the list.
Yeah.
All 4 of them actually on here.
Good Lord. I would hate to fight her.
I think I'm going to set her around the number 7 at Adam Sandler because it's a good way to lead off
It is very good.
to introduce the Eladrin. Next up, we have the Daemogoth. It's a huge fiend with a bunch of arms. So, 16 AC, 157 hit points, or you can take the maximum 15d12 plus 60, which would be...
Let me do some quick math.
Yeah, you do that. Be 170. Am I right?
180.
Dadgummit.
Plus 60 would be 240.
All right. So you can do the max of 240 if you'd like. Plus 9 to intelligence, plus 6 to wisdom, and plus 8 to charisma saving throws. With the skills, plus 13 to arcana, plus 12 to deception, plus 9 to history, and plus 6 to perception. Immune to psychic damage. Immune to frightened. True sight of 120 feet. That's problematic.
That is very problematic.
Passive perception of 16, though. It speaks abyssal, infernal, and it has telepathy of 120 feet. Now, Pact of Pain. Using a 10-minute ritual, the Daemogoth can forge a magical bond with a willing creature it touches throughout the ritual. The creature becomes bound by the pact until it dies. The Daemogoth dies, or the pact is broken by any effect that can remove a curse. The Daemogoth chooses 1 spell from Necromancy or Enchantment School that is 3rd level or lower. The bound creature can cast that spell using this pact, requiring no material components and using intelligence as the spell-casting ability. When it casts the spell, the creature takes 2d6 psychic damage, which can't break the creature's concentration on a spell. And once the bound creature casts the spell in this way, it can't do so again until it finishes a long rest. So this thing is pretty much a miniature Gosh, what patron? It's a mini patron.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be like a patron's servant.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, multi-attack, the Daemogoth makes 3 agonizing bursts. It can use Terrify, if available, in place of one of the attacks.
That's ridiculous.
Agonizing Burst. Ranged or melee spell attack. +9 to hit, 10-foot reach, or a range of 120. 2d10 force damage. And if the target is a creature, the Daemogoth regains 5 hit points.
And it gets 3 of those.
Yep. So with a +9 to hit, average, it's going to regain 10 health per turn.
Yeah.
Or it can use Terrify on a recharge of 4 to 6. The Daemogoth targets one creature it can see within 120 feet of itself. The target must make a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 6d10 psychic damage and is frightened of the Daemogoth until the end of the Daemogoth's next turn. And the Daemogoth regains 5 hit points. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and isn't frightened, and the Daemogoth doesn't heal. Screw you, Daemogoth. You don't get to heal this time.
But that's a fairly high save. A 17.
Oh, yeah, it's a DC 17, and realistically, unless you're playing a ranger, cleric, or a wizard, you're probably not going to have a good wisdom unless you want to have a decent perception.
That's going to hurt.
This guy's kind of wild.
He is a wild card. I'll give you that. Because he can be very good. But if he doesn't hit anything, it's very bad.
Well, yeah, if he just straight up somehow doesn't hit anything with that +9 because the DM's rolls are going really, really bad that night, then yeah, he's going to be taken out pretty easily because he's not going to be healing at all.
Because he is very offensive.
But he's cool.
He is cool. I'm looking at the picture here. He's got an arm coming out of his chest.
Yeah, he's got 5 arms.
It's like a Goro lich with an arm coming out of his chest.
Yeah. This guy is a Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I could go with that.
Next up, we're covering one of the transformations that a character can do in our Friday night game. So, shout out to Duck.
Yeah.
Because we made fun of her and her character on this show a couple of times, so it's time we actually come out and say it. We're talking about the Death Kiss. Now, the Death Kiss is a large aberration, pretty much a knockoff Beholder, honestly.
It's a one-eyed beholder.
Yeah.
Basically.
Armor class of 15 with 142 health, or you can take the maximum of 15d10 plus 60 for a max of 210, with a flying speed of 30 feet, and it hovers. +8 to Constitution saving throws and +5 to Wisdom, +5 to Perception, immune to lightning damage, and immune to being knocked prone. Has a dark vision of 120 feet and a passive perception of 15, and it speaks deep speech and undercommon. Lightning Blood. That's cool.
That is pretty cool.
A creature within 5 feet of the Death Kiss takes 1d10 lightning damage whenever it hits the Death Kiss with a melee attack that deals piercing or slashing damage.
So it's thorns with lightning damage.
Pretty much. And that's actually pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Lightning damage is just, I like lightning damage. Like if I was gonna take a spell, everybody always says fireball, but I like lightning bolt and chain lightning.
Yeah.
Multi-attack. The Death Kiss makes 3 tentacle attacks. Up to 3 of these attacks can be replaced by Blood Drain. 1 replacement per tentacle, grappling a creature.
Let me guess. It regains health with it.
We'll find out. So the tentacle is a +8 to hit with a reach of 20 feet.
Good Lord.
2d6 plus 4 piercing damage, and the target is grappled with an escape DC of 14 if it's huge or smaller. Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained, and the Death Kiss can't use the same tentacle on another target. The Death Kiss has 10 tentacles. It has 10!
Goes through a gnome village, just picks up 10 and wanders off.
Blood Drain. One creature grappled by a tentacle of the Death Kiss must make a DC 16 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 4d10 lightning damage, and the Death Kiss regains half as many hit points. Now, what's the ruling on Restrained? Don't you make that... oh, wait, no, that's the deck save. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind me. I read lightning damage, and everything else lightning is like, deck save. So I'm an idiot. Never mind me. I'll be over here.
But this is, it's weird because it's a con save. And then
Yeah.
lightning damage.
Oh, it is really weird in that. That's very true. But honestly, if you look at the picture, it's kind of cute
I do want
for a beholder.
I do want a baby one as a pet.
It's kind of cute for a beholder. It's looking, the way it was drawn in this picture is like, who, me? Really?
I've got the image in my head of a baby Death's Kiss. Like, I don't know, it'd be 3 foot tall at most. Just going around outside picking up rats and draining them.
Oh, no.
At you like, didn't do nothing.
Oh, and then look back at you. I didn't do nothing.
It wasn't me, Dad.
I think this, realistically, I think it's a number 6. To be completely honest.
I don't know. I want to give it an 8.
I mean, I can meet between Sylvester Stallone and Adam Sandler. I could do that 7.5.
Yeah.
Now, if only that transformation would be used, because, wow. Moving on, though. We're going over.
Been called out.
No, never. We would never do that. Moving on to the Death Slad. We're back with the Slad, folks. There's something about frogs.
What was his name? Kevin?
No, Mike the Wizard.
Oh, yeah, Mike the Wizard. Mike the Slad Wizard.
And his little wizard hat.
This is his older brother.
Ribbit. Armor class of 18, 170 health. Or you can take the max of 20d8 plus 80 for a maximum health of 240.
Yeah.
Plus 6 to Arcana and plus 8 to Perception. Resistant to acid, cold, fire, lightning, and thunder.
Why not?
Blind sight of 60 feet, dark vision of 60 feet, and a passive perception of 18. And it speaks Slad with a telepathy of 60 feet. I wonder what Slad sounds like.
I would assume ribbits.
What if you learned to speak Slad in game and the DM was just like...
I imagine walking into a swamp at night, that's what you hear. Is
Or Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, that's funny.
That is now canon Slad.
No, they just speak in Creed. Can you take me higher to a place where dead slads sleep?
Wah, 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 wah.
Shape Changer. The Slad can use its action to polymorph into a small or medium humanoid or back into its true form. Its statistics, other than its size, are the same in each form. Any equipment it's wearing or carrying isn't transformed. It reverts to its true form if it dies. It has magic resistance and magic weapons along with regeneration to where it regains 10 hit points at the start of each of its turn. Also, it has innate spellcasting with a save DC of 15 and a plus 7 to hit. And it uses charisma. It's a bard.
Yep.
Or a sorcerer.
It's a
whichever way
bard.
you want to do it.
I'm looking at this spell list. That's a dangerous bard.
That's a heck of a bard. So twice a day for each spell, fear, fireball, fly, and tongues. Oh, and that will, because I glossed over that, detect magic, detect thoughts, invisibility, mage hand, and major image. That's a spell list. And once a day each time, plane shift, and the crop dust. So here's what you do. You get your gnome wizard on the back of your Manticore mount, right? And you've got your Eldritch Knight on the back of his Nightmare mount, and he's sitting there waiting on the gnome wizard to fly by as he's holding his fireball action to cast Cloud Kill and crop dust the people on the shore while the death slab that they have under control is in the village crop dusting them.
No. The gnome wizard is the death sled.
Oh, and his brother Mike's the wizard.
Jeez.
What's the death slad's name?
Let's go with Jerry.
Jerry the death slad, and Mike the wizard, because he's the green slad.
Can I play as a slad in your game?
I mean, if you run into one, you might.
Like, the whole game, half the game, play as a regular character, just
And then just be transformed into a green
from a
slad.
death sled.
Oof.
And just like halfway through, you go back to your original form. I'm a sled.
You just pull that out on the third day of travel. It's like, guess what? I'm a sled.
It's like everybody, oh, my parents are dead. Oh, my parents kicked me out of the house. I had to live on the streets. And you're sitting
I'm a
back there in the
freaky
corner.
frog.
Poof. I'm a sled.
I'm a sled. Oh, it's got multi-attack where it makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its claws or with its greatsword. The bite in its slab form only.
Wait.
Yeah,
A
it's greatsword. Yes. This dude has a greatsword.
Oh, my God.
The bite, +9 to hit, 5-foot reach, 1d8 plus 5 piercing damage, and 2d6 necrotic damage. The claws, +9 to hit, 5-foot reach, 1d10 plus 5 slashing damage, plus 2d6 necrotic damage. And the great sword is 2d6 plus 5, or 2d6 necrotic damage. And then it also has the control gem, just as any other slab we've covered.
This.
There's something about slads, dude.
Hey, I mean, they're great. They're great.
We've got an unhealthy obsession with slads ever since Mike the Wizard.
I really want to play as an
This little
undercover
wizard
slad.
Hey, honestly, let's make a Grim Hollow transformation, okay? We've got the Lich and the werewolves and the fiend and
Now
all
you're
that.
a werefrog.
Now you're a slad.
I mean, it would work
Oh, it'd work pretty well, actually.
once you get, what was it, attacked by a slad or something like that?
Something like that.
And then you turn into a slad.
Well, I think it's more along the lines of you have to specifically for the green slad. It did something if you failed a saving throw and weren't healed in time of it.
Oh
then
yeah,
you turned
yeah,
into
yeah.
one.
Yeah, it was a disease basically.
Yeah, it was pretty much
So
treated
it's
as a
basically turning
disease.
into a werefrog.
Yes, kind of like lycanthropy.
But if you put this into like a Grim Hollow, would you turn into the slad you were bit by, the color or the type of slad, or is that something that would be random?
I think it would have to be like a prerequisite to be a spellcaster. You know, like the Lich, because that's the only one that actually can be transformed. I think that's the only thing that you can transform into. If you get the green slad's the only one that can make another green slad.
Okay.
Like
Oh,
the death slad and the other ones didn't make another slad.
yeah, you can just control them. That's right.
The death slad's the number 9.
That
It's a Richard Hammond.
yeah.
Next up, we've got the Frog Hemoth.
I remember this thing.
Yeah, this is the one that we ran away from.
Yeah. We killed his buddy, like massacred his buddy.
We massacred his buddy. Just
And then this
Jeremiah
guy,
decided to try out a new rule that a crit would give us the option to either do double damage or stun them. So we stunned them, and then we crit 10 times in a row.
it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
he
it
did
wa-
away with that rolling pretty quick.
Yeah, that one was, because it was just one after another.
Oh, it literally was one after the other. And that was when I was playing Ford, so I was doing big damage too.
Yeah. And then he brought out this guy, and we're like, nope.
Nope, we pieced out. It was like, no. AC of 14, 184 health, or you can take the maximum of 16d12 plus 80, and that'd be 192 plus 80, 272.
Yep.
Dang, I'm good. Not really. Speed of 30 feet with a spin, with a spin.
With a spim.
With a swimming speed of 30. Plus 9 to Constitution saving throws, and plus 5 to Wisdom. Plus 9 to Perception, and plus 5 to Wait a minute.
Hmm.
This thing's got a plus 5 to Stealth.
It is a swamp creature.
No, screw that. It's a huge frog, freaking tentacle, long-tongued, three-eyed looking bugger
Yes.
with a plus 5 to Stealth.
I would say a plus 5 to stealth if you were in the swamp or the Underdark with it.
Mr. DM, this is bullcrap.
I would not give it a plus 5 stealth in an open plains.
No.
Crunch.
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 Ribbit.
Is that a bowl of Rice Krispies sneaking up on me?
No, it's freaking Greg.
Greg the Froghemoth.
Resistant to fire and lightning damage. Dark vision of 60 feet and a passive perception of 19. I guess that's what the 3 eyes are for.
Yeah.
It is amphibious, so the Froghemoth can use both its left and right hand at the same time.
Yep.
Shock susceptibility. If the Froghemoth takes lightning damage, it suffers several effects until the end of its next turn. Its speed is halved. It takes a -2 penalty to AC and dexterity saving throws. It can't use reactions or multi-attack, and on its turn, it can use either an action or a bonus action, but not both.
So, Tempest Cleric and the Tempest Wizard.
Or any spellcaster that has access to any kind of lightning damage.
A Tempest Cleric would tear this thing up.
Call lightning. It's a cantrip.
Yeah, I know. But still,
You can get that as a wizard.
But still, a Tempest Cleric.
Oh, a
would
Tempest
tear
Cleric
this
would
thing
wipe the
up.
floor with this thing. So the multi-attack, unless you're hit by Call Lightning, makes two attacks with its tentacles, or it can use the tongue or bite. So the tentacle is a +10 to hit with a 20-foot reach, 3d8 plus 6, and the target's grappled with an escape DC of 16 if it's huge or smaller. Until the grapple ends, the Froghemoth can't use this tentacle on another creature. It has 4. The bite, +10 to hit, 5-foot reach, 3d10 plus 6 piercing damage, and the target is swallowed if it's medium or smaller.
It can.
I swear, English is so hard. If it's medium or smaller. You know, I give up sometimes. A swallowed
Then you
creature
get
is...
right back on the horse.
Yeah. Let me Sam Elliott this real quick. A swallowed creature is blinded and restrained, has total cover against attacks and other effects outside the Froghemoth, and takes 3d6 acid damage at the start of each of the Froghemoth's turns. It can hold up to 2 creatures at a time.
What if that cover stacks?
If it takes 20 damage or more on a single turn from a creature inside of it, the Froghemoth must succeed on a DC 20 Constitution save, in which it's got a +9 to, or you're going to be thrown back up.
Not a bad way to get out, I guess.
Oh, and if your party kills the Froghemoth, you can spin 10 feet to crawl out of the dead Froghemoth. To be rebirthed into the world. In the tongue, the Froghemoth targets one medium or smaller creature it can see within 20 feet of it. The target must make a DC 18 strength saving throw.
Jeez.
On a failed save, the target is pulled into an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the Froghemoth, and the Froghemoth can make a bite attack against it as a bonus action.
Mm.
So here's the thing. Tentacle 1. Bow, you got it. It's grappled. Tongue attack. Bow, they failed the saving throw. It's pulled in. Bite. Boom, swallowed.
Yep. And that's why we ran away.
I mean, realistically, let's be honest. This thing's actually pretty cool.
It is.
It is really cool, but...
It's goofy looking. But it's pretty cool.
Oh, it looks like an absolute goof. It looks like that guy that would be on the other side of the microphone like, so, my mom made me pizza rolls, so I'm going to be able to stay up late tonight. So realistically, where does the Froghemoth fall on our list?
It's really cool and really goofy.
Oh, in that case, James May. Yeah,
That's
number
a James
6.
May.
It's cool and goofy. It's a James May. That's all there is. That's all that can be said. Next up, we have one that actually sounds really cool. A lesser death dragon.
And it looks really cool, too.
It is considered a large undead. 15 AC, 199 hit points, or you can take the max of 21d10 plus 84 for a max health of, 294.
Yeah, he's got a deep health pool.
40-foot movement speed and 80-foot flying speed. Plus 4 to Dex and Wisdom saving throws. Plus 4 to Perception. Plus 4 to Stealth. Resistant to piercing. Immune to necrotic poison. Immune to exhaustion and poisoned. Blind sight of 30 feet. Dark vision of 60 feet. And a passive perception of 14. And understands common and draconic but can't speak. Has unusual nature, so it doesn't need food, water, or air, or needs to sleep. Multi-attack. The dragon makes 1 bite attack and 2 claw attacks. The bite, plus 9 to hit, 10-foot reach, 2d8 plus 5 piercing damage, plus 1d8 necrotic damage. The claw is a plus 9 to hit, 5-foot reach, 1d6 plus 5 slashing damage. If the target is a medium or smaller creature, it is grappled with an escape DC of 15. Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained. The dragon has 2 claws, each of which can grapple 1 target. Cataclysmic Breath.
Yeah, this is where it gets cool.
That's just a cool name. Recharge of 5 to 6. The dragon exhales a wave of ghostly purple flames in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that area must make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw, taking 8d8 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much as a successful one. A creature dies if the breath reduces it to 0 hit points.
Instant death.
Instant death. Additionally, any medium or smaller humanoid killed by the breath's damage, as well as every corpse of such a creature within the cone, becomes a zombie under the dragon's control. The zombie acts on the dragon's initiative, but immediately after the dragon's turn. Absent any other command, the zombie tries to kill any non-undead creature it encounters. So you just post this guy up in a mass grave.
Well, from looking at him, he's probably going to have lots of dead bodies around him anyways.
Oh, yeah.
From
Oh,
adventurers,
yeah.
I'm going to go kill the dragon.
Oh, yeah. This dude's cool. This dude is awesome.
I would give this a Carl Weathers.
Yep, this is a number 10. This is a really cool dragon. It's an awesome dragon. Especially for CR10.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have the Maw of Yinogu. I think I'm saying that right.
He's definitely got a maw on him. Good Lord.
Now, he's got a mouth. 15 AC with 161 hit points, or you can do the maximum of 14d12 plus 70 for a max health of, be 168 plus 70, 238.
Let's check those quick.
Yeah, check that math.
What'd you say?
I done forgot now. Let me hold up. It'd be 238.
238.
You lie.
The calculator does not lie.
It does.
If I put it in wrong, which I did not.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. For sure. Plus 9 to Constitution saving throws, plus 4 to charisma.
I mean,
Okay. Dark vision of 60 feet and a passive perception of 16, and it speaks abyssal and giant. Oh, good news. Magic resistance.
of course.
Multi-attack. The maw makes 2 bite or fang fling attacks. Yeah. Plus 10 to hit on the bite, 10-foot reach, 2d12 plus 6 piercing damage. Fang fling, plus 10 to hit, range of 30 to 90 feet, 1d10 plus 6 piercing damage. This dude spits his tooth at you.
Yeah,
He goes,
he's an old Southern man with a dip in.
yeah. He really is.
Except he's spitting teeth.
Oh, wow. Goring charge. Recharge 5 to 6. The maw moves up to its speed without provoking opportunity.
Why not?
Wait a minute. He moves up to his speed without provoking opportunity attacks and can move through spaces of large or smaller creatures. Each time the maw enters a creature's space for the first time during this move, the creature must succeed on a DC 18 strength saving throw or take 3d12 plus 6 piercing damage and have the grappled condition, DC of 16 to escape. If a creature is already grappled this way, it has the prone condition. Until this grapple ends, the target has the restrained condition. The maw can only have one target grappled in this way at a time. And reaction, Fanged Rebuke. In response to taking damage, the maw makes one bite attack against a random creature within 10 feet of itself. If no creature is within itself, the maw can make 2 fanged flings.
Why
attack.
not? Jeez.
That dude is ugly.
He is, I would say, fugly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's nasty to look at. Ooh. But he's cool.
The upper part of the face without the bottom maw fang thing
That's
reminds
scary
me
in
of a
itself.
Lord of the Rings troll.
It does. Honestly, it does.
Like if you take out the lower jaw and that quadruple neck he's got, he's a troll from Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah. I think I'm going to put him honestly, I think he's number 7. He's pretty cool for what he can do.
I mean, he's really cool with a charge that does not provoke opportunity attacks. With a 18 saving throw for the damage, and then a 16 to be, knocked prone?
No,
Grappled?
you're just knocked prone if you're already grappled.
That is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. The not provoking opportunity attacks. This is the monster version of the Peace Cleric.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, monster version of the Peace Cleric, it's a 10.
I would go with an 8.
Yeah, let's go with an 8. We'll give it a good old Sylvester Stallone. Next up. Go ahead.
I could see, since you mentioned old Sly, I could see him with like 6 hours in makeup playing this thing.
Oh, Adrian. Wow, okay. We're going there. Okay, I see how it is. Oh, we've taken a turn to the dark side. Next up, we have the Night Veil Spectre before we get sued by the Rocky Corporation. AC of 17, 105 hit points, or you can take the maximum of 14d8 plus 42, and I'm not going to try to do that math.
Do you want me to do the math?
No, because it's 153. Am I right?
154.
Dadgummit!
You slipping in your old
That's...
age.
Oh...
I could say
Listen.
that because I'm older than you.
Listen, dude, I turned 30 this year. I'm not exactly looking forward to it.
I'm 30. I'll be turning 36.
Oh, so you're already dead.
Getting close to it, yeah.
Getting close.
Closer every second, Sonny.
Has a movement speed of 30. Excuse me. Saving throws of plus 8 to dexterity and plus 7 to wisdom, plus 7 to insight and perception, and plus 8 to stealth. Resistant to necrotic and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. Immune to poison damage. Immune to charmed, exhaustion, frightened, and poisoned. Dark vision of 120 feet, and a passive perception of 17. Understands common, but can't speak. Mount.
Oh, yeah.
If the Spectre isn't mounted, it can use a bonus action to magically teleport onto its Gloam Wing mount. I need you to pull up the Gloam Wing.
All right.
Provided the Spectre and the Gloam Wing are on the same plane of existence. When it teleports, the Spectre appears astride the Gloam Wing along with any equipment it's wearing or carrying. While mounted and not incapacitated, the Spectre can't be surprised, and both it and its mount gain advantage on dexterity saving throws. So, about this Gloam Wing, what is it?
Let me find a better. All right, let's see. The Gloomwing. Gloomwing? Yeah, whatever. Has 163 health. Let me find a better one. That does not have its armor class.
Let's see if I can pull one up too.
Come on, computer. Okay, there we go. 16 AC, 136 hit points. Speed of 30 foot, fly speed of 60 foot. Damage resistance, necrotic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. It's immune to poison. It's immune to charmed, exhaustion, frightened, and poisoned. Dark vision 120 feet, passive perception of 13.
What are its attacks? Because this thing's probably going to be acting on the same initiative count as the Strider.
Probably.
The Spectre,
it has, it's got a few features. It's got Deathlink.
What is that?
It does not tell me. Let me look it up.
Because Deathlink has a very, eerie undertone to it.
It does. Okay, when cast, the target has to be within 240 yards of the caster. But the duration...
So within 720 feet.
Yeah. But for the duration, the distance between caster and the target does not matter. As long as they're on the same plane of existence. If one participant traveled to a different plane, the link would be severed. While linked, any damage suffered or healing bequeathed to the one is also transferred to the other.
You're kidding me.
Nope. It lasts for a minimum of 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Okay. That's stupid.
Damage and healing is shared on Deathlink. And it also has flyby. It does not provoke opportunity attacks if it flies out of the enemy's reach.
Okay.
It is sensitive to sunlight. It's got multi-attack, which is just a bite and a claw. These pages.
What's the CR rating on it? Is it like a CR 5, 6? It might be a 7.
An 8.
It's a CR 8.
Yep.
Wow. All right. That's
and
ridiculous.
It looks really cool too.
Well, see, here's the problem. This guy's riding that.
Yeah, I know.
And this guy makes 2 scythe attacks. The scythe is a +8 to hit and a 10-foot reach. 2d6 plus 4 slashing damage plus 3d8 psychic damage. Mind Twist on a recharge of 5 to 6. The Spectre magically emits psychic energy in a 60-foot cone. Each creature in that area must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or take 5d8 psychic damage and be stunned for 1 minute. The stunned creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of its turns, ending the effect on itself, on a success. And reap memory 3 times per day. The Spectre touches one incapacitated creature and chooses 1 hour from among the past 24. Unless the creature succeeds on a DC 15 intelligence saving throw, the creature loses all memory of that hour. The creature regains the memory only if the Spectre dies within the next 24 hours. It's a memory wipe.
That is pretty good.
That's crazy. This guy by himself is only like a 5. With the Gloamwing, it's a 9.
Yeah.
Guaranteed it's a 9.
I've got the attacks pulled up for the Gloamwing.
Go ahead.
It's a +8 to hit on both. And a 3d8 plus 5 on the bite. And 3d6 plus 5 on the claws.
That's a lot of damage.
So it flies by, not provoking any attack opportunities with his multi-attack, and does that much damage with a guy on his back.
You see, what you do is you max out the health for the Spectre. You give him the Gloamwing, and it stands in as a mini boss.
Oh, definitely.
Because 105 for a mini boss, depending on what level you are, especially if you're up to the CR10 levels, it's not that much. So you max it out for what was it, the 238?
Yes.
Yeah, you max it out for the 238. Give him his Gloamwing, have him mounted or unmounted to where he's got, or just give that thing its own initiative count, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got one heck of a mini boss situation.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the generals of the big bad evil guy.
Witch King of Amar.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
It's a Witch King.
Yeah.
Or a Nazgul.
I would say it is the Grim Reaper riding.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Actually, really, that thing's cool.
That is really cool.
Next up, we've got the Spring Eladrin. AC of 19, 165 health, or you can do the maximum of 22d8 plus 66. Be 172 plus 66.
176 plus
106. Oh, 176.
242.
That's a lot of health. With a 30-foot movement speed. Plus 8 to Deception and plus 8 to Persuasion. Resistant to Psychic. Dark Vision of 20 feet. Passive Perception of 10. So the Autumn Eladrin's a lot more perceptive.
Yeah. He's worried about flowers.
Speaks the same language as well. Joyful Presence. Any non-Eladrin creature that starts its turn within 60 feet of the Eladrin must make a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature becomes charmed by the Eladrin for 1 minute. It's pretty much the same thing as the Autumn's being pretty.
Yeah.
This guy just makes you so happy. Magic Resistance. And it has innate spellcasting with a spell save DC of 16. At will, Tasha's Hideous Laughter. That's almost as good as a whole person.
Yeah.
And once a day, each major image and suggestion. Suggestion can get really hairy.
That can get, yeah.
Multi-attack. The Eladrin makes 2 longsword or longbow attacks, or it can replace 1 attack with spellcasting. Longsword plus 6 to hit, 1d8 or 1d10 plus 2, and 5d8 psychic damage. And longbow, 1d8 plus 3, 5d8 psychic damage. The Eladrin are just cool as they are.
Yeah,
honestly.
they are really cool.
And this guy would be a Adam Sandler, number 7.
Yeah, I could see that.
Next up, we'll see what the Summer Eladrin's got to offer. See if there's anything different about him.
Now, this dude looks cool.
Oh, yeah, this guy looks awesome. He looks more along the fighter version. You know, the Autumn looked more like a ranger.
Yeah, she was a ranger.
The Spring looked more like a rogue almost.
Yeah.
And this one looks like a straight-up fighter.
Well, with his presence thing, yeah, it really lends to the fighter role.
Now, here's the cool thing. AC and hit points are the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was the movement speed on the Spring Eladrin?
30 foot.
Summer's got 50.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Summer's got 50 foot of movement. My phone's on an ad right now because the computer was acting weird when I was trying to swap in between browsers, so.
Let's see. He's got his skills. He's got athletics plus 8 and intimidation plus 8. Resistant to fire. Dark vision of 60 feet. Perception of 11. They're not really perceptive, are they? And then he can speak Common, Elven, and Elvish, and Sylvan.
This one's got a fearsome presence. Any non-Eladrin creature that starts its turn within 60 feet of it has to make the DC 16 Wisdom save. But this time, instead of being charmed, they become frightened.
Yep.
For 1 minute.
That's it.
Also has
fighter.
magic resistance. It is a straight-up fighter. There is no spell casting. It's got it makes this 2 attacks. The longsword is 2d8 or 2d10 plus 4. Wait a minute. The longsword is 2d8 plus 4 or 2d10 plus 4 with 2d8 fire damage.
Yep.
And the longbow is 2d8 plus 5 and 2d8 fire damage. And as a reaction, it's got parry to where it can set itself at a 22 AC for 1 melee attack.
This dude is. I would prefer him over the other two.
Yeah, he's a number 8. He's a Sylvester Stallone. And next up is the Winter Eladrin. Now, the Winter Eladrin is supposed to be the scarier of all these. This is the straight up ranger.
Well, I mean, a lot of cultures
They're the
do
colder
winter
ones.
with death.
Yeah. AC of 19, same health, 30 movement speed, resistant to cold, dark vision of 60, passive perception of 13, speaks the same languages, has magical resistance. This one has sorrowful presence, and it's the charmed effect. Works the same as spring and summer. No, spring and autumn.
Yeah.
It also has innate spell casting, spell save DC of 16 for fog cloud, gust of wind, and sleet storm.
Yeah.
And at will sleet storm is ridiculous,
Yeah,
especially when it can replace a longsword or longbow attack with a sleet storm. Now the longsword, it has no strength, so it's either 1d8 or 1d10 plus 3d8 cold damage, and the longbow is 1d8 plus 3 and 3d8 cold damage.
Yep.
As a reaction, Frigid Rebuke. When the Eladrin takes damage from a creature the Eladrin can see within 60 feet of it, they can force that creature to make a DC 16 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 2d10 cold damage. I would rather have the winter and summer fighting for me than the other two.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
honestly.
Definitely.
But I'm going to rank this as a number 7 just as we did the spring and autumn. It's not quite as cool as the other ones.
Oh, she's really cool.
Oh, wow.
I had to make a dad joke.
I'm disappointed.
It was a good dad joke. Leave me alone.
Good Lord.
I've been sick. I haven't had the time to make dad jokes.
But now we're on to our final creature for the list. And there's a few young dragons on the CR10 list. But in my mind, none are as cool as the young gold dragon. Why? It's freaking gold.
I would say one is close. The young dragon turtle.
The young dragon turtle,
It's just a dragon turtle.
It's just a dragon turtle. The dragon turtle doesn't become cool until it's a dragon turtle.
Yeah.
You know? So this thing is an AC of 18, 178 health, or you can take the maximum of 17d10 plus 85 for a max health of 255. 40-foot movement speed with an 80-foot flying speed and a 40-foot swim speed. Plus 6 to dexterity saving throws, plus 9 to con, 5 to wisdom, and 9 to charisma. Plus 5 to insight, plus 9 to perception and persuasion, and plus 6 to stealth. Immune to fire, blind sight of 30 feet, dark vision of 120 feet, and a passive perception of 19. And it speaks common and draconic. And it's amphibious, so it can use its left and right wing simultaneously.
Yep.
Multi-attack. The dragon makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its claws. The bite is a plus 10 to hit, 10-foot reach, 2d10 plus 6 piercing damage. And I'm kind of surprised it doesn't do an extra bit of fire damage in there.
Well, it's not a fire elemental. It's just a dragon.
Oh, yeah. The claw, plus 10 to hit, 5-foot reach, 2d6 plus 6 slashing damage. And the breath weapons, you heard that right. Breath weapons. It's got 2 choices. Recharge of 5 to 6. The dragon uses one of the following breath weapons. Fire breath. It's a 30-foot cone, and the creatures in the area must succeed a DC 17 dexterity saving throw or take 10d10 fire damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one.
10d10 fire damage, that's a good roll.
That's a lot. You can either do 10 or you can do 100.
And it's a 17 dex save, so...
That's an average of what? The average of a d10 is 6?
I think so.
I think it's supposed to be. That's an average of 60 damage. That's a lot of damage.
And you better be dexterous, because a 17 is not easy to hit.
No. Weakening breath. The dragon exhales gas in a 30-foot cone. Each creature must make a DC 17 strength saving throw or have disadvantage on strength-based attack rolls, strength checks, and strength saving throws for 1 minute. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself. So here's the thing. You don't put the young gold dragon in a fight by itself against the party. You put a young gold dragon in there with an adult one that's got the legendary action wing beat to where they're now having disadvantage on those strength saving throws.
Now, one thing I would change
as a support character
is the DC 17 strength. I would probably go with a con save since it's a cloud of gas.
It would make more sense.
Because you're making a strength saving throw or have a disadvantage on strength based attacks and strength checks.
Yeah.
So all your strength based characters are probably going to pass this.
Yeah, you got a point.
It's not.
But then again, all your strength-based characters, like a barbarian and fighter, the second, like, stat that you want to be good for those, if you look at it in the player's handbook, is Constitution.
Yeah, but with it being a gas, it would make more sense being a con save.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. But this thing's still
It's still really
Richard
cool.
Hammond. It's still Richard Hammond. It was going to be an 8 if it only had the fire breath, but it's got both.
The
It's
weakening
got
breath
two
does
options.
add, yeah.
The two options for a breath weapon makes it cool.
Makes it very deadly too.
Yeah, makes it very deadly. Especially if fighting just this guy, probably not going to be that big of a deal. Fighting say an ancient red dragon, and he's got a young or an adult gold dragon that's got that.
Or even 2 or 3 youngs.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Well, the thing is, there's nothing there that he's making them make a strength saving throw for.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have the legendary action wing
Yeah.
attack to where they're having to make a strength save or be knocked prone. So
Yeah.
you couple him with an adult or an ancient dragon, and it
Oh.
gets scary.
Yeah, that would be very scary.
Ancient a young gold dragon with a ancient sun dragon, solar dragon.
Ooh.
Oh, sun chicken. But that's our CR10 list. Thank you for listening in. We're sorry that we got sick and we got, behind so much. We're trying to catch up
Yeah.
as we, now.
It happens this time of year.
It really does. But thank you for listening in. And I hope we'll see you in the next one.